blood feud. It was like a
beast bloody beast war,
bloody beetroots.
Bloody beetroots. Now we're talking.
Also, no, it's like bloody fight or
bloody
something.
roar.
Bloody roar. I remember you whooping my ass from here to Timbuktu in that game.
You got to play like a human character that transformed into some kind of monster thing, right? Yeah.
It was like if like Animorphs, it's like parents divorced, and when it was with his father, it was like real angry. That's what Bloody Roar was.
Yeah. Man, ripping Bud Lights.
Smoking. I feel like I should be drinking a Bud Light anytime that I have a bandana on.
It's giving like 80s villain. Like you look like you're coming from like a karate dojo.
You know, Daniel, you've known me for a little while, and I think the audience has known me for 5 or 6 years. I would make an excellent 80s villain.
I think so. You know, some of them
would be fantastic.
I like specifically Karate Kid. I think it was like motorcycles that they all kind of rode in on. Motorcycles were big in the 80s for whatever reason. I could see
I think it's just because there were less laws preventing children from getting from place to place. So children were just on bikes. They were just on motorcycles. They were hitchhiking. Yeah. Thank you, John.
See, John remembers. That was a great game. Yeah. Paul and I were trying to talk about it and trying to remember the name, but there was a time we literally stayed up all night, sundown to sun up, playing Bloody Roar.
Yeah, that was
I was winning.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. It's good times.
Yeah, Alexis said I need to work on my costume. I didn't feel like putting on the gi. It's cold here right now, or at least I'm cold. I feel delicate. So yeah, I'm work from home Ryu right now. That's what my costume is. What are you, Daniel? What is happening?
I am this unnamed generic. I forget if there's wings on this. Just this unnamed generic dinosaur. Okay. Very Puff the Magic Dragon, if I may. It's a whole body suit.
It is. Yes.
I have a tail. It's adorable.
It is kind of cute.
It was on sale at Amazon, and it's not one of those like everyone at my last job was like, it was like cosplay almost because everyone was like a real big creative. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get something just I can just throw on and not have to worry about if I spill food on it or something. Not an issue. This was like $13 on Amazon.
That's the best. And even then, it's like, I mean, it probably smells like gasoline, and you are one accidental friction rub away from it setting on fire. It's just like I mean, this is also from Amazon, and I'm fairly certain it's like carving into my forehead.
Oh yeah, it's like inserting asbestos into your skin cells.
Yeah. Well, hi everyone. Again, apologies for the lack of marketing around this episode and the last one. It has been an incredibly busy weekend. Daniel, you were really busy working, right? You were taking photos of picture. You were taking photos of people without their permission in parks or something.
Yeah, telephoto lenses.
Perfect. But and then I was at a Dia de los Muertos event with my girlfriend. She dressed up and it was amazing. She looked awesome. I'd never really done anything like that, so I was just supporting. Honestly, Daniel, you should have seen me. I would make the best like PR rep for someone. Like there was people trying to get her picture. There was these dumb little kids that kept trying to come up and they weren't paying a nickel. I'm like, you want a picture with the talent? Well, guess what? We take Venmo and Zelle, kid.
Yeah, we take Venmo, I don't care. Zelle, cash card, anything but blood sacrifice.
Your parents' money is green. Start acting like it.
Well, hey, every celeb needs paparazzi security.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would make a great PR rep. So welcome in, folks. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're here, say hi. John, I see you. Alexis, hi. And Steve, saw you a little bit earlier. Thought we wouldn't be on, but we are. We're just going to be here for a little bit. And we are going to just go over a few spooky stories. We're not really going to talk like pop culture news and headlines. we have a few spooky stories that I have collected that Daniel hasn't really looked into, so we're gonna show them. We've got a little show and tell around it. Yeah, get a little spooky for the holiday season. What are you guys doing for Halloween? What are you doing for Halloween? Like, I know it's work day, so like,
yeah, it's on a Thursday, so it's not the most convenient. But we're going to a little party. A friend of ours is throwing. We got a last minute invite, which means we were an afterthought.
Yeah, you were not invited to that.
Not invited, but you know what? I'm assuming his primary invitees were dropping like flies or just not committing. So we lucked out.
Does that mean this is a party you want to go to?
Probably not. Who knows? Who knows? It could be fun. Halloween's a night to get in trouble, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we're having a big thing on campus at the company that I work for. That and
the
so there's gonna be like
related company.
Yes. I just realized I should have like dressed as a character from one of the games that I've worked on, and instead I chose Ryu, Work from Home Ryu, which is a game known as Street Fighter, which I hardly ever play. I've played like twice in my life. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm in Irvine all day, so I'm at Blizzard HQ all day, so I am doing nothing.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, I might just go try to scare some old people, and maybe they'll fall. So we'll see.
Fun.
Well, everyone, welcome and thank you guys so much. We wanted to really up top a little bit. Again, we mentioned last week, if you guys missed it, Alex and Autumn are on a little bit of a sabbatical. They both just happen to have like so much going on right now professionally that like they just cannot make Mondays work. So it's just me and Daniel for a bit. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. But we also are going to continue to do the Monday show as much as possible, but eventually will be the Monday show, and then me and Daniel will be trying to do more pre-recorded content to release on Mondays as well, because it is getting busy. So it's busy season, but doing our best. We're here. Let's talk some spooky news. Thank you guys for being here. That's the spirit
this time. Hello, welcome.
I love
the Generasaur. That's great. I'm gonna steal
Generasaur. Yeah. No follow-up joke for that. I don't even know what to say. Wonderful. All right. Well, let's get right into it. Daniel, Daniel usually does all the work. So this time I told him, you kick back, I'll produce the show. So I'm sorry in advance. All right, story number 1. This is a horrifying story that I had found. I don't know if you guys know this. I am a purveyor of all of the weird and wacky stuff. I love cryptids, I love ghosts and all that. I don't particularly believe in any of it, but the fandom and the phenomena surrounding it is incredible to me. And one of the things that I feel, I don't know about you, like always scares me is like dolls. Dolls in general, like even this little bastard back here, sometimes the little Grogu, like even he scares me, because sometimes I feel like his head turns. Now it could be the extreme amounts of isolation that I put myself in, that my wonderful girlfriend is like, hey, you need to go outside and touch grass. It could be one of those things, but mostly I feel like dolls are really scary because you can project like your fears onto them. Like if you're afraid of like ghosts, like it'll move. If you're afraid of demons, maybe it'll talk to you. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna go into a story here really quick. It is a place outnumbered by puppets, a depopulated village in Japan crafts dolls for sense of life. Ichono has fewer than 60 residents, so they stitch together their own population of puppets to keep them company. I have some pictures here.
Wait, yeah, I know. I need to see this.
Just for your, the dolls are on the right-hand side there, by the way. That's a real woman. Here's another set.
Ooh,
absolutely terrifying. So, came to find out that the reason that they do this is because fewer than 60 people live in Ishono, and most of them are past retirement age because most of the younger people have left. I believe you said Kyoto is the nearest town, right, Daniel?
Yeah, it's about an hour from Kyoto.
Yeah, so it's about an hour from Kyoto. So all of the younger people who grew up in this town, they leave and they go look for work. So this town has only 60 people in it. So to combat the loneliness of only having 60 people, they've started to create puppets doing all sorts of things. These are just the few that I could find, but they just hang out there. They put them gathering wood. They've even got little puppet families. And look at these are just holding hands. I think that's a mom with her little puppet daughter. Now, a lot of people online feel that this is really sweet and cute. I don't. I think it's horrifying, and I would be absolutely terrified if I walked into a town and it's just full of puppets. Imagine the crows having just a conniption. They're just like, this town is a trip. The crows alone would hate it. I don't like it. Like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, what would you do, Daniel, if you walked into this town and you're like, a lot of fucking puppets here. Like, what's going on here?
That's horrifying. It's very like I Am Legend, right? Where like, you still have people set up. I don't know about you, but I'm the type where like if I leave a jacket hanging or something and I see the I don't know, lights are out and I just see like a vague figure shadow, I get scared still in my big age. This town I would just leave.
Yeah.
So population of 60, I mean, I used to work in an office that had 45 people-ish. So imagine that being your entire town. It's kind of creepy. I think I would have a bad time here.
Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy it. I don't find this like I've seen The Village. I've seen I Am Legend. Now, those are two very different sides of like a village mentality and Will Smith just talking to mannequins all day. Like, I feel like this makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this increases the isolation and makes it makes it harder for you to talk to normal people. Like, I don't know if this helps them.
It might even hurt them, because like, think about it. You see something at a distance, you're like, excuse me, right? And then they just like, they don't move.
Yeah. I think
I'd have a less of a problem if they weren't like people sized. They seem to be like actual size.
Yeah. They seem definitely like a little bit smaller. Like this one is, that lady can't be, she's not a power forward for the Knicks. Like she's probably like 5'1". So that thing's, maybe 4 feet tall. But if that's supposed to be like a little kid, like that's puntable size. Like I don't like it.
That's very true.
Like these look bigger.
Yeah, the little wagon is kind of what I'm using for scale. So I imagine that the one on the right maybe being like 4.5 feet, maybe almost person size.
They've even got shoes on.
Where they sure do. From? Honestly, donations or old shoes. I'm sure. I get the feeling that this is probably like a really beloved like tradition in this town, and they probably get people like feeding into it all the time. Kind of like Salem, I imagine.
Salem, Oregon.
Salem, Oregon.
Yes.
The Salem Trail.
Salem, buy them, whatever you got to do. Yes, Stephen R says, save the onesie for Christmas, Daniel, and it can be Holly Gennaro costume. That's a diehard. Holly Gennaro, really, yeah. No, that is a very good joke, Steve.
It was either that or Olivia Newton, John Wayne Gacy.
I saw someone was like, they're like, this is the year. This is the year for very specific costumes from the internet. And someone was like, someone dressed as like the audio tech during the first run of like the Eras tour.
Oh God.
And do you know what I'm talking about? Like his name was like Tim or something when he came on and was like, hey.
Yeah.
And he got like and like there was someone that was him, and someone was like, that's not even the most frustrating part. The most frustrating part was that I went to a bar and there were 4 other Tims.
To have that little like microcosm of internet celebrity, even for like a week, must be something incredible. Look at Haktua girl, and she's a full celebrity now.
Yeah, I saw someone dresses It was the Hawk Tua, and it was Hawk and Bash, who were like the Bash brothers. They were old wrestling tour. They're like, they dressed like the animals, I think. And someone was just like, this is so specific.
If I could have like a dream costume, I would go as like Mudang, because Mudang is just like the heart of the internet right now.
So you would just strip down to your skivvies and oil up and just go bite people. So basically people. You're 2 again.
Yeah. You know, they say relive your glory years.
Daniel is a biter, just so everyone knows.
Allegedly.
Hello. Hi, Orchid. Orchid? I'm an idiot. That's Orchid.
That is Orchid.
Hello. But Tenchi says, yeah, but so Catch Me Outside Girl, and look how things turned out for her. She has a recording contract. Okay.
Bad Barbie.
Bad is that what it is? Barbie?
It's like bad, but it's like BHAD. Barbie.
Oh, look at that.
Orchid, like the flower.
Orchid is very nice, because what they want to say is like the flower, idiot. Like everyone knows this word. Hi, welcome. But yeah, so I'm not a fan. I don't like these, like, I feel like there are other more useful things that these Japanese elders could be doing with their time, rather than making a nightmare factory of their town. So yeah, all right, well, moving on to the next one. We've got the Hangton Hollard, I knew I was going to fuck this up. The Hangton Holler cryptid seen near Kentucky Highway. Now, I couldn't find any pictures of it because, you know, it doesn't exist. It's a cryptid.
Well,
so I asked AI to make me one based off all of the firsthand accounts of what people saw it, and this is what it came up with.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's got white fur, red eyes, the head of a lion, but the body of a bear. I'm gonna say, kind of hot. Just saying it. I think the AI woke up on the right side of the bed, because like, yeah, wow. I kept trying to prompt it, and the AI just kept spitting this one out like it just kept like slimming the waist down.
Listen, if I were at a bar, I would fold.
Yeah, that's a costume. Yeah, what? I was gonna wasn't he? Yeah, he was. Orchid said, we just got our Bigfoots here in Oregon. Oh, congratulations on your new shipment of Bigfoots. There's strength in numbers though. Yeah, no shit. So the story. So according to Haunted History of Kentucky, who they abbreviate themselves as HHK, like that's what they just were. And then there's like a legend at the bottom of this article that says HHK means Haunted History of Kentucky. I'm like, yeah, thank you. No one knows what this thing is. Like, the cryptid and ghost and UFO community are my favorite because they just assume that everyone knows them. Anyways, that's a whole other thing. A haint, which is also like a Kentucky word for like a specific type of ghost or a specific type of cryptid. It's basically just something that is unexplained. It also you have to be careful, because it sounds like a slur. I don't like it.
And it does.
I don't like the word haint.
I feel like I've seen this one on TikTok, and it's one of those ones almost like kind of like, I guess, Macbeth. Like, you're not supposed to say it out loud, or you'll invite it in, or you'll invite it over.
Oh, dude, like there's always that friend at the afters. Like, you're like, we need to go, but don't say it out loud, because then they're going. So this is in Burkesville, Kentucky. This specific hot cryptid is known as, they are Bigfoot-esque in sort of their demeanor, how they walk, how people have tracked them. They also call them white fangs. Like, that's what they call them.
Stop, you're lying.
Nope.
Them white things.
Daniel, would the Haunted History of Kentucky lie to you? They have a website.
Yeah, I know, you're so right. You're not allowed to lie on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So they are said to look like an albino Bigfoot with like very specific details from person to person, but all of the accounts that I could find, like they emphasize the red eyes that you see, as well as like the head of a lion. That's the thing that people have said a few times, that it's got like the head of a lion, which I found super interesting because I don't, I've done a lot of research on various cryptids and other sad sentences that would follow that, and hours. I spent hours researching this. I don't even know my niece's birthday, but I know what a haint is, and I don't really see a lot of them that really involve involve lions, with the exception of like the Australian griffin. And then there are like some like Canadian ice griffins, which are pretty sick. Ooh. But anyways, back to real things. The eyewitness accounts claim that the white fangs stand about 8 to 9 feet tall. Some claim that either no eyes and ears, or they have bright red eyes and no ears. They also resemble a bear, head of a lion, like we're seeing here. But it's said that the temperature drops 10 to 20 degrees when they're around. And when they're inside this thing called the Hainton Holler, which is a stretch of road, it's called Highway 3115, so 3115. It's past the Gray Gap Road in Cumberland County in Burkesville, Kentucky. So if you're out there and you can get there, take some pictures and send it to us, because that's called thank you.
We might have an eyewitness account.
I'm not lying. I just sat a loser. But it's like said that people have seen lots of stuff in the in this, like they call it the Haint Holler. A holler, by the way, is also I believe, again, I'm a city boy from LA, but from my readings, a holler is like a piece of, like a stretch of land. Like it's just something that people like call it. Like it's not
like a zone,
like a prairie. Like it's just like, oh, over the holler there. Someone could tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's that.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Terrifying. You said 8 to 9. If I were just on a backcountry road and this thing 8 to 9 feet tall just like full on sprinted at me, I would just drop dead. My heart would stop.
You'd be on your back, that's for sure. Oregon says the town that I live in Indiana had tunnels underneath it. The whole area of Kentucky and Illinois. It's all very strange. Yeah. So this area, like that whole part of the country, is very strange. And it just has, I think, again, I love this stuff. I've studied a lot of this stuff. I don't necessarily believe any of this is true. It's more just interesting to me that a lot of these paranormal sightings and findings exist because people have nothing but time over there, so their imagination just runs a little wild, and they make up hot cryptids. So like I think I don't know if I necessarily believe in this, but Dwayne Madison says we have a town nearby named Bowman. It has a Bowman beast. No one knows what it looks like because we are not very imaginative around here.
See, and I feel like growing up in a Hispanic household, we had the cucuy, and it was just this catch-all, like, the cucuy, don't go there, the cucuy. Very, very similar threads, but I do like that it seems like almost every region in America has some kind of like cryptid, some kind of haunted something or other that, kind of defies explanation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I looked this up, Steve, and a very brave YouTube comment said to me, I read from a very brave YouTube comment that haint comes from like haint real, like just from the dialect of the part of the country, like it haint real. So I don't know if that's true or not, but like I like the idea of it coming from the word haunt, and yeah,
they call it a haint because you ain't gonna catch me, and then they run. I've been working on that since we said haint the first time 10 minutes ago. That's all I got.
That was 10 minutes ago. So
that was 10 minutes.
Real bummer.
You only got honesty from me.
And Orchid says, I'm an East Coaster. I'm from Connecticut originally, and that is a very historical state. A lot of haunted psych wards. Ain't not real. All right. You and Daniel. Time out.
Gotcha,
Pun jail. Pun jail. All right. Third and final story. This is a spooky one because basically it's saying that we're all doomed. And ironically, we covered this, but the 2024 version a year ago, almost to the day. Baba Vanga and Nostradamus both had the same terrifying prediction of 2025. Two of the world's most notorious and ominous mystics reportedly made the same exact predictions for 2025. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Baba Vanga, there she is. Yeah, it's spooky. Kind of reminds she kind of reminds me of the seers in 300. Like,
ooh, deep cut. I've seen 300, but I couldn't tell you.
The Oracle. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to be honest. It's not great to look at. I think we can be honest.
She's like an LA 4.
It's generous, but she's a Burkesville, Kentucky 9. So I'm sorry if you're in Burkesville. We love you, and
that's
like,
rude.
comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'd love to have you on the show. Thanks, Dwayne, for that one. I'm glad you got that out before Daniel did. Dwayne says premonitions ain't real. So some of her premonitions for 2025, they're a little spooky. I'm gonna read them, and then I'm going to give, again, I'm a huge skeptic of all things kind of spooky, and I don't even know what this would be, like psychic. Like, I'm a pretty big skeptic. Daniel, what's your perspective on like psychics and we'll just stick with psychics for now.
We'll stick with psychics. I don't really believe in like, oh, I can read your mind or I can see your future. But I do think that there's some kind of web of, intuition. Some people get a vibe, and, it's that like, something doesn't feel right. My mom, quick story. One time she was like, Mijo, I was going to like run and grab a soda or something from a liquor store. That liquor store got shot up that same day. And she was like, Mijo, maybe you shouldn't go, or something like that. She just had a weird feeling, just a bad vibe. And sure enough, that liquor store, there was like a stick-up robbery that I think nobody got hurt, but shots were definitely like shot in the liquor store. And so from then on, I was always like,
And you don't think that's just because at the part in your life you lived in a bad part of town, and you're like, if it wasn't today, it might have been tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. Statistically, that place is bound to get, robbed.
It is. Even a broken clock is robbed twice a day. So I'm curious what everyone else thinks. Like, if you're out there, what's your perspective on like psychics and intuition and people seeing the future? I think it's, pardon my language, hokum. I think
no, explain.
Explain. I think a lot of it is, to me, people who are incredibly talented at reading other folks. Yeah,
true. That would have been a great story.
For me, you might have been gone. It would have just been one more opportunity for your mom to be like, told you so.
Told you. Oh, yeah.
What did I say?
Even in the afterlife, I wouldn't hear the end of it.
It's like, yeah. You know why? You know why it happened, Daniel? Because you're always on that phone. You're always on that game. That's why. John Gogano says it's a grift. That's
palm readings.
Yeah, I've never personally sought out, a psychic or anything. And even when I've done it twice. I was like, okay, I'll put you to the test. So I wasn't like an asshole, and I didn't do the thing like, how many marbles do I have in my pocket? But I like purposefully lied about everything just to get this psychic to a point of where like it would give me exactly what I wanted to hear. And it was all complete ruse. Like, it was all a complete lie. Like, to me, a good psychic could have been like, none of that's true, Paul. I know that.
Yeah, agreed.
And none of that happened. Like, I know you have clients. I know you have like a waiting room and like NYPD and Law and Order is playing in the break room. And I'm just like, I think, okay, come on. Like, it's hard for me. I'm just like, where is it? You know? So I really want to like see something.
Yeah.
But like, do I want
I'm definitely open to the proof.
But you don't like scary stuff like that. Like I'd be completely good, like to be like, hey, this is like the most haunted place ever. Paul, walk into it. I'd be like, awesome. Like, we'll see what that means. But like, if someone told you outright, Daniel, like there's a demonic presence in here, you'd be done. You wouldn't do it. No, you're not risking it.
I'd probably like step foot in and be like, ooh, spooky. And then like, I can play into the ha 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 until I hear something like a rat or a mouse, like scurrying. And then I'm like jumping out of my own skin. I'm out of there.
Yeah. Tenchi on the other side of that says clairvoyance, premonition, and intuitive cognition are absolutely real and have millennia of anecdotal instances across multiple cultures around the world.
I know that's right. Sure. Thank you, Tenchi.
Sure. Like, just like our very own Baba Vanga, who has made like all this chick would do is just make predictions that are generalized enough to get things right. But she was right about, I guess, JFK. She was right about the start of World War II. And she was right about the death of Princess Diana. So that's a little, the part's a little spooky. And Dwayne says, if psychics are real and can see the future, how come they've never won the lottery? I think if it's real, I don't think it would work that way. But
you know, I've always loved like That's So Raven, right? Where she gets a vision, and then through her antics and trying to prevent the vision from coming true, she walks right into the vision. I love that. I love that like self-fulfilling kind of prophecy of it all.
Yeah. Like very Final Destination, when like that one girl can see everything and she's like doing everything she can to like prevent it. But then he's like, hey, I need you to be picked up from school. And she's like, I can't. And then she's like, okay, let me just do this. And then it just like snowballs.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah. Oh, and then someone gets like a fish tank through the head. Sick. Figure that one out. Okay, so some of her predictions for 2025. All right, everyone, are you ready? You strapped in here? Both Nostradamus and Baba Vanga claim that there will be a deadly war in Europe next year. Crazy. Crazy that you predict that one of the biggest continents and you know group of countries would still be in war.
Might have also,
these predictions were made like around World War I for her, so I'm just like, honestly, it's a pretty safe bet.
It's a numbers game.
But that one possibly, you know, we've got a couple of wars going on technically in Europe, you know, Eastern Europe and Russia and Ukraine and Arsenal playing Everton. That's a sports joke.
What is Everton? I think a big point about the Baba Vanga story is that she died in 1996. And, you know, going off the TikToks that, you know, I saw, I think they said like her hit rate is somewhere in like the 85% rate, the 90% rate. So who knows? I think she also said that there was going to be some kind of like meteor hitting a major metropolitan city. So who knows?
Fingers crossed for New York and all those Yankees fans. Yeah, someone did mention, Daniel, that they're like, we didn't think you guys to be here because the World Series is on. We are also absolutely watching the World Series right now. Like while we're doing this show,
we're monitoring.
We are monitoring. So someone can keep tabs on the score for us. That would be fantastic. Okay, so another one of her predictions was the emergence of an aquatic empire in which powerful floods would devastate cities, particularly mentioning volcanic activity and severe flooding in Brazil. An aquatic empire. Like Venice?
Atlantis?
Oh. Like Atlantis, but I'm like, okay, like, I mean, I don't know. I also don't know if Atlantis is real, but maybe we find it again.
Now that's a can of worms I'd like to get into.
No, we don't need any more worms. Let's see. Also, she's predicted at an extra. This one's interesting and kind of horrifying. She hinted at an extraterrestrial encounter at a prominent global event, possibly during a sporting event like the Super Bowl or the Olympics. capturing the world's attention. She also spoke of a potential Martian war, suggesting the possibility of conflict with alien beings, which, if true, would represent an unprecedented shift in human history.
Wow. Yeah, no, if aliens came down, wait, hang on. She said at a major sporting event? Is that not the finale to Space Jam where they return Michael Jordan? I think it's like Yankee Stadium.
All you know what? Like she's there and she's sitting like, show me the future, right? And it's going, and it's just like the only thing she can see in 2025 is like some dude in Burkesville, Kentucky, just watching Space Jam, and she just thinks it's real. That's all that happened.
And who knows? Maybe that is what happened.
Honestly, though, that's how I would use my powers. It would be basically me just watching future TV from here, just doing this and just watching TV on someone else's sofa in the year 2080.
That's fair, but you know what? It gives you an idea of like what's TV gonna look like. Is my favorite show gonna get canceled?
Yeah, it's the year 2080. I'm watching TV, and what is that, Daniel? It's season 6 of Sherlock.
The actors needed the check.
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch is just a head like in Futurama.
That's the future I want to see, though. That's I want to be able to preserve our celebrities and just kind of keep them in a museum somewhere.
That's true. I'd like that as well. I don't want any more to do with the celebrities other than basically just pushing them off to the side and taking them out to like do like celebrity deathmatch or something. But Dwayne says Namor exists. That's just a fact that Dwayne's carrying around in his pocket when he's ordering food somewhere. He's just waiting for someone to say Namor doesn't exist. Tenchi, 3-0 Dodgers. Thank you.
Very nice. Play it to play.
He said that would also take care of the alien invasion. Wait, how would that take care of the alien invasion? Oh, Space Jam.
Space Jam. The Monstars were aliens.
That's true. That's true. Stephen R. says, anyone watch the documentary The Man Who Saw Tomorrow about Nosferatu? That thing actually creeped me out, but it's mostly due to the music and Orson Welles narrating. No, I haven't. I don't even know what that is. I don't think I've seen that.
Wait, the Orson Welles? This has to be an older.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely older. But yeah, so that is her major predictions. Like in 2024, which I'm going to go over some of the predictions that Baba Vanga had for 2024. And you let me know if you think any of these have come true. Okay. So got a few here. An orbit alteration. Solar flares weren't the only astronomical phenomenon on the psychic's radar. The orbits of bodies of certain planets would shift gradually and then majorly all at once. I don't know if that one happened. I think she's 0 for 1, right?
Yeah. Think so?
All right. Bioweapon deployment. One of the most viscerally disturbing predictions is that a big country would be carrying out biological weapon tests or attacks. I think she might have got that one right.
Who knows? There's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there that say COVID was intentional.
Yeah. Wait, no, but this would have had to have been something in 2024. If that was for 2020, then sure.
That's true.
I'm like, sure like Russia used like mustard gas, which is against the Geneva Convention.
Ooh.
Which, yeah. And it's not brown mustard.
Would you call that a biological attack? Or is that just a...
Oh, biological. Well, I don't know.
And that makes me think like a disease, a sickness, I don't know, like a chew. That's true. Got 2 moons now. Predicted that. Got 2 moons now. Predict that.
I didn't know that. I did not know we had 2 moons. Okay. A breakthrough in quantum computing. I see. This is where it becomes speculative. The world is currently undergoing a machine learning revolution. So Baba Vanga had said, let's see. More or less. She
predicted NFTs, didn't she?
She predicted NFTs, but something along the lines of alternative, alternative conscious deployment, which people are categorizing as AI. So it's like an extension of our consciousness.
Huh. Interesting.
And so I'll give her a half point for that one. She's 1.5. She's got 1.5 points. Okay. The advent of designer humans, which is we basically just see people, much like Cyberpunk 2099, 2077, 2077. They would start like having like designer ears and designer hair. I think she missed the boat on that one because I don't think I've seen that. Although Dwayne says Kim Kardashian is just a butt in a vase, so maybe her butt's designer. I don't really follow.
Yeah, I wonder if that may. I guess plastic surgery has been around a lot longer than just 2024, so I suppose that doesn't quite count. But, you get to design your, I don't know, cosmetics.
Ooh, honestly, I have already like Goku eyebrows. I would go further with them. I'd go further on the Goku eyebrows.
Really? Maybe like a trip to Turkey for like a hair transplant on the eyebrows?
Ooh, yeah. I'd make them little caterpillars. And then I can make them dance like Jack Black. But other than that, I have no interest. Oh, honestly, I could probably use a new knee. But I should have thought of my knee before my eyebrows. But, well, that's
priorities.
That's on me. Dwayne says we have a small second moon until sometime in December. A meteor is temporarily stuck in our gravitational pull.
Did she not say some of the planet's gravitational pulls would be affected or something? She was right.
You're reaching.
She ate that. You have to. You have to open your mind.
Fine. I'll give her a point. Okay. She's two for. Oh. Was that the little demon in your room?
I don't know. I heard something.
It's Baba Vango reaching out through the ether to tell you to shut the hell up because the World Series is on. And then the last one would be the advancement in medical breakthroughs. She said that we would be shackling cancer with iron chains is the words that she used. Honestly, I don't know if that one's true, but I do know that in 2024, we did make advancements on how to kill cancer cells in pigs, which don't have this, obviously the same immune system as us, but they killed skin cancer. And the reason that that's, I think, crucial is because pigs have very similar skin to us. And so the cancer reacted very similarly on the pigs as it would to us. And they were able to completely 100% remove skin cancer from the pigs. Wow. So you know what? I'll give her the point. She did pretty good. She did pretty good.
And there have been those stories about using AI to spot, like breast cancer or early breast cancer tissue in mammograms and whatnot.
Yeah. I feel so self-conscious when I read that stuff because I'm like, I just used like generative AI to like show me what I would look like as like the Empire State Building. And then people are out here curing cancer. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, what would I look like with the Statue of Liberty? Like as the Statue of Liberty, but I'm like the little torch. And like, that's just like what I'm doing. And people are out here curing cancer. So, well, not my best work, but. And Tenchi says, if a meteor caught in a gravity field counts as a moon, then Pluto is a planet again. Amen. I feel like this is something that Tenchi's been wanting to talk about. So, well, Tenchi, this is your platform. But I agree. Bring Pluto back. Honestly, 9 planets is better than 8. Like, I feel like it's like a nice round number.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's it for our spooky news. We wanted to just come on here, say hi. What is everyone's plans for Halloween?
Does anybody go trick-or-treating still? Does anybody have
kids? While everyone's letting us know their plans, I was just talking about that, about like how I feel like trick-or-treating has like substantially dwindled. Like I feel like I don't think people are really trick-or-treating anymore. And that's sad.
It is. When I was at my mom's place, we lived across the street from like this really popular Orange Grove, really popular like row of streets that people will go, like crowds of people will go trick-or-treating down. And it's really dwindled off, and you really you don't see as much anymore.
Yeah, it's a pretty big bummer. Because I'm gonna be honest, I was trick-or-treating well into like 11th grade.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I don't think people are really doing it anymore. Oh, it's never a good idea to slice something literally named God of the Dead. Oh, Pluto? I thought they named it after the dog. I thought they named the planet after Goofy's dog.
Goofy is a dog.
Well, then what is Pluto? Are we ready to have that conversation? What does that make Pluto? Let's not answer that question. There's no way we answer that question and remain on the air. Let's avoid that. Dwayne says, I'm 57, almost too old to trick or treat. Almost. The cutoff is actually 157. So you're getting there, Dwayne. But yeah, I miss candy. Like, I want to go have candy with people, and I like watching. Like, I don't want kids. I'm not having kids, but I do like seeing like little Transformers walking down the street and they're just constantly like lifting up the thing and they can't see. Like, it's cute. Little butterflies around. I love it.
I think my favorite one was like I saw a couple kids dressed as Minions, but like in those inflatable ones that like stay. They have the little like fan that keeps it inflated, and they were just kind of like waddling down the street.
Yeah. My favorite is watching all of the super low pro costumes, and it's all of like the foos, all of like the dudes who are just out there for candy, and they all have that same light up mask from The Purge. You guys all know exactly which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's terrible, and you're like,
and then like the really fake bloody machete or something
that has like it coming through it, and you like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Spirit Halloween October 30th edition. Like that's what it is. But all right, everyone. Well, we are gonna get going. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are gonna go. Someone before we go, World Series score check, please, because I have to hop in a car immediately. So
it's 3-0, bottom of the fourth, 2 outs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yankees are up.
New York sucks. LA is the best city in the world. Next to Burkesville, Kentucky, of course.
Next to Burkesville, of course.
Thank you, Tenchi. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so very. I almost bowed. I'm not gonna bow. I promised Daniel I wouldn't bow.
Yeah, we had a lengthy discussion about that.
I was like, you cannot. There's a list of things that you cannot do with this costume on. I wanted to start off saying like, hiya, everyone, but Daniel said that was out of bounds. Or do a Kamehameha for everyone. Kamehameha.
As Ryu does.
As Ryu does, yeah. You know, he goes Super Saiyan. Thank you all so much for joining us. We know it's super last minute. I swear to God, we will be better about doing it. It is just right now, it's me, Daniel, steering the ship, and it's like the ship is in port, and someone gave me, Daniel, like the thing to play with. We're like, woo! Like, don't tell them that the ship's docked, please. Well, Tenchi, to be clear, hold on, let me bring this up. Tenchi says, to be clear, I do not want the Dodgers to win this. Well, to be clear, Tenchi, suck it.
Reread that for me.
Wait,
go slow.
To be clear, I do. I'm so sorry. You didn't even stop me. You just gave me the rope.
I thought you were about to agree with him. I assumed you read it.
No, look, man.
Before we go, I did want to mention, John mentioned this, and I couldn't tell you how old I feel reading this. Pluto is a streaming service, and I can't tell if he's joking or not.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know if it's a streaming
Pluto
service.
Is a streaming service.
Is it? Okay,
yeah,
I've never heard of it. I'm like, good one.
No, it's
Existential crisis.
Existential crisis activated. Tenchi, I apologize. Was that of character? You didn't deserve that. The city of LA didn't deserve that. Freddie Freeman didn't deserve that. Oh, wow. That's how much the Mets hate the Yankees is we beat the Mets and they still would rather the Dodgers. I love that level of hate because I feel the same way. I don't feel as passionate about the Dodgers, but I'm that way as a Cowboys fan. I was like, I would rather like anyone win than like the Eagles, or honestly just the Eagles. The Giants are a laughing stock. The Commanders are getting good, but I love them. I would sooner no one win and the stadium go up in a Dark Knight Returns fashion, where then the Eagles win another goddamn Super Bowl. So the hate is real. Appreciate it. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful Halloween. We will see you guys next Monday. That's it. I may not be here. We'll talk. I may be in San Diego. So yeah, leave John Gargano's comment up. John, to you, to everyone, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Halloween. Be fun, be safe, and be an absolute nerd. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Like what you love what you like, and don't trust a psychic as far as you can throw the Generasaur. So bye, everyone. Have a
bye,
great
everyone.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.